wherever girls and young women are to be found in any number, it is quite possible that lesbians can be found. The modeling business is one of these places. Many of the girls who are models are not necessarily lesbians. In some cases, it's the photographer who's the lesbian. The dyke will try to get as close to her girls as possible without arousing suspicion. She does this until a model comes along who will respond to her advances. There are many cases where lesbians marry and stay married, even when the marriage proves to be unsatisfactory. It is not difficult for the lesbian, being the passive member of the marriage, to stay indifferent. Staying at home, she can make friends among other housewives without raising suspicion. Lesbians, the possessors of an abnormal jealousy over their femmes, sometimes get very upset and sometimes get very violent when another dyke makes advances in the wrong direction. The dyke will fight, in some cases to the death, for the affections of her femme. The femme is always flattered over this show of affection and usually encourages the dykes to fight. Society has a very great problem in its understanding of the desires and needs of its unmarried women. Dr. Freud stated, "Homosexuality in women, which is certainly not less common than in men, although much less glaring, has not only been ignored by the law, but also by society." In a fashionable part of town, several dykes were getting together for the purpose of planning a party. This one would be a very special party, one that would bring new faces in, and most of all, a coming out party for a new girl. A girl makes her coming out only once in her life. She'll be introduced to the other femmes and will meet the dykes. In most of the cases, the new girl has only had very limited relations with a lesbian and is looking for a closer association. The new lesbians, as well as the older ones, are always on the lookout to find somebody they could love or love them. This is a struggle that never ends. That homosexual components lie dormant in every woman and could, under certain conditions, find release are substantiated by federal prison records. The number of sex-starved women who submit to homosexual relations as a result of their confinement within prison walls is much greater than is supposed. A fair percentage of all women inmates is made up of those who've been apprehended by the police on charges of prostitution. In other words, prostitutes who are deprived of their heterosexual relations because of prison walls now give way to their hidden desire for homosexual cravings, find themselves literally in a haven that is made up exclusively of members of their own sex. The hostess of the affair was a woman in her late 20s who's been a dyke for the last 16 years of her life. Even when they think and live like men, lesbians, for the most part, generally enjoy the chic look of womanhood. Because her homosexuality is easily hidden, the lesbian mingles very comfortably within the bounds of society. But it is at affairs like these that the lesbian can relax and feel her true self. The guests arrive one at a time. The hostess is very efficient. It's all important to have everything running as smoothly as possible for the convenience of the new girls coming in, and for the dykes to be able to move around and select a femme for themselves. Parties of this nature are kept in the strictest secret. Fearing exposure, the lesbian is often at the mercy of everyone. At work or wherever she may be, she's always susceptible to blackmail. Discovery in most cases could mean instant ruin. Lesbians have their variations from one group to another. There are those women who are cultured and refined, who sneak away to some dirty bar in order to meet a trampish-looking woman to make love to. Some women break up homes, forsake children for the love of another woman. Then there are the teenage lesbians, or baby butch. They roam big city streets in large gangs, assaulting everyone who falls within their path. Some of the weapons that they use run the gamut of fists, lead pipes, chains. Many of these girls eventually end up as alcoholics, drug addicts, and prostitutes. Regardless of what the lesbian does or where she goes, her life is a very difficult one. The lesbian must always be on the alert and avoid detection. She, like her male counterpart, leads a very lonely and despairing life. It is a fact that the suicide rate among male and female homosexuals is very high. A lesbian making her debut within her own society reacts as any other girl would when she's doing something for the first time, and knowing that she'll be in the spotlight and possibly the main attraction that evening. The dyke is telling her how to behave in front of the others and how to act like a femme. Initiation rituals might vary from one affair to another. At some affairs, the evening would be spent in drink and general talk, while at some other affairs, it was quite different. The bull dyke enters the affair, followed closely behind by the femme, ready to make her initiation into the daughters of Lesbos. And the femme are completely different in appearance, and yet many lesbians feel that this dissimilar role were easily interchangeable. The fact remaining is that the butch of today could become the femme of tomorrow. When the reverse is often possible. Records show that there have been many butches who have actually become feminine in manner, and some have apparently returned to normal femininity. It is virtually impossible to tell how many lesbians there are in the country. However, lesbian vacation paradises are well known to the more informed. Fire Island, the California beaches, the tropical islands of Jamaica. On Long Island, they have the Hamptons. And the New York City set have Reese Park. The international set always have Paris, Rome, Switzerland, to mention but a few. This gay party was worked out in a manner that would allow the guests to all mingle together, or singly as they chose, in an atmosphere of privacy. These girls chose to develop a slow relationship before getting down to the more serious lovemaking that all were here for. This type of play was a form of teasing, a way of stimulating their inner senses. The introduction room, as this place was called, would allow them the privacy that was needed in order for them to play this game. It was at times and places as this that the lesbian was allowed to feel her true self without worry of detection. It was here that she found her love and contentment. The bull dyke was at her best when she was working to make a femme. Not all bull dykes succeeded in their attempts, so the going had to be slow. The ultimate conquest for the dyke would be to have the femme become dependent on her. In this case, the dyke would support his femme. In a more literal sense of the word, the femme would become the mistress of the dyke. The dyke, as records show, are very dominant and possessive and extremely jealous people. The femme, in her desire to break away from the grip of the dyke, often found this an almost impossible task. A strange occurrence happens when a lesbian has to turn to prostitution in order to keep her female lover. The Johns that normally pay $50 and $100 for the privilege of love would pay an additional $50 to be with a lesbian. The logic being that the men were highly stimulated to think that they were able to draw a response from a woman who was known to be indifferent to men. In prostituting herself to finance her woman lover, the lesbian finds it ironic that it's a man's money that's paying for her pleasure with a woman. Men unknowingly sometimes use lesbians as procurers for them, and in many cases, the lesbian usually samples the girls before she turns them over to the man. It is not uncommon for a lesbian to do what she hates most, prostitute herself to a man. It is also not uncommon for a prostitute to turn in moments of despair and loneliness to the warm, soft arms of another woman. Many lesbians, as a rule, are heavy drinkers. Some are alcoholics. At parties such as this one, girls are trying to escape from reality, and drinking usually helps. The young dykes will always try to get their femmes high on drinks. They become more responsive with a few drinks in them. These affairs, as a rule, take place on weekends, so as to last for several days. After the party is over, these girls will all go back to their daily jobs, some as clerks, secretaries, hostesses. The lesbian looks upon her job as a means of contact with other girls. Lesbians are always on the lookout for new recruits. After a few drinks, the dyke has been able to get the young Deb in a receptive frame of mind. Being a new experience for the Deb, she's not sure what will happen to her. Suspense and excitement are usually built up in her, but she dares not say or ask anything, fearing that they might not want or accept her as one of them. So she's willing to wait it out and accept what comes. After some drinking, the girls decide to split up, each couple going their own way, each dyke planning what she will do with her property, the femme. The kitchen is not an unfamiliar place. It is the femme's duty to take care of the house, cook and wait on her lover, the dyke. Many lesbians have at one time or another been married, and for the love of another woman, forsaken their homes and families. Some lesbians remain married to their male husbands and when the opportunity presents itself, leave home to go to their female lovers. Though many lesbians marry and have children, others who never marry feel a strong maternal void. There are many sacrifices that a lesbian has to make, and one of them is the fact that she can never bear children. Lesbians, being women, pass through the childbearing years. And even though she might carry on in lesbianic harmony, she often regrets that there are no children in her life. The dyke is a very selfish person. She's out to get all she can, and as often as she can. The dyke often takes unjust advantage of the young femme. After feeding her drinks all night, she becomes very receptive to the dyke's suggestions and advances. There have been cases where the inexperienced femme developed guilt feelings and was ashamed of what she had done. However, this is not always the usual case. Schoolgirls of all ages are not immune to the society of the daughters of Lesbos. Girls on many a college campus live together, share each other's clothing, talk about their dates, discuss many mutual problems, their likes and dislikes. They spend more time together than with anyone else. Often these girls find consolation and sympathy within the warm touches of each other. Some girls, after leaving school, also leave their lesbian loves behind. Others continue in leading a life of a lesbian. The dyke is always the dominant figure among lesbian groups on the school campus. For as the saying goes, for every dyke who walks the earth, there is a femme for her. Some girls freely talk about their lesbian habits, while others would rather die before admitting their lesbianism even to their closest friends. Even among lesbians that they can trust, some never reveal openly what they really are. Many lesbians don't want to think of themselves as lesbians. During the course of the evening, the party had reached a peak. The Dykes had all assembled in the main conference room. The purpose of the meeting was to reach a decision on what to do with the young dead. Each Dyke had her own ideas of what the initiation test should be, but only one suggestion would be used. A vote was being taken on the suggestions, and the straws were being drawn to see who'd carry out the initiation as decided. The Dyke had sufficiently mellowed the young Deb for her ordeal. Still not knowing what she was about to undergo, went willingly upstairs with the Dyke. A decision finally being reached, and the Dyke to carry out the initiation picked. They all left the room ready and eager to assist if necessary. Dyke and the young Deb enter the bedroom, and the suspense begins for the dead. The Dyke is in no hurry. She has all evening, and the Deb has no place to go. At times like this, every Dyke is out for herself. She would like to be the first one to initiate this young girl. It would give the Dyke great satisfaction if she could be the first to have her. The young Deb, realizing now what they've worked out for her, begins to show fear. She tries to escape. That doesn't work. Desperately, she fights, but the Dykes are too strong for her, and eventually she's overpowered. do her work. The dyke never feels remorse or shame for what she has done. To her, it's another conquest, one to be remembered for a short time and then forgotten. Soon the party will be over and she'll return to the heterosexual world that she so violently rejects, a world that she must constantly be on the guard against, a world and its male inhabitants she must pretend to accept. The problems of the male and female homosexual are of a complex nature. There are answers to these problems, and these answers can only be found through competent medical advice. Society as a whole is responsible for this ever-increasing social problem. It is therefore up to us to be understanding and forthright in our desire to help those in need of it. Lesbians can be cured if they show a strong desire to be cured. They cannot cure themselves entirely. Sound medical treatment and advice is necessary to effect a permanent cure. Medical authorities state that lesbianism is a symptom that affects the personality. Treatment is aimed at changing that personality structure.